What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Perfect Match Podcast. I'm your host, Ray Molina, and this is episode 112. I hope you guys are doing well. Hopefully, wherever you're at, day or night, I hope you're having a blessed day, and this episode finds you in good health. I myself, speaking of health, I had a head cold for probably 3 days this last week, so now I'm feeling a little better. So if you hear my voice sounding a little different, it's just because I'm getting over it. You know what I mean? It wasn't too bad, but it was enough for me to want to stay away from the gym a little bit. I didn't want to be that creepy guy in the gym, coughing or sneezing and people kind of freaking out because people still kind of freak out about that stuff. But anyways, let's move on. Before we get started on this episode, let me give you the information that I always give you. My website is raymolina.com. My Instagram is, if you're watching YouTube, it's right here in the corner. It's at itsraymolina. That is also my TikTok. The podcast is on TikTok and Instagram at The Perfect Mess Pod. The brand is also on TikTok and Instagram, and that is at It's Beast or Famine. And if you follow me and you know I do furniture restoration, I do banners, and I do all kinds of stuff like that for my work, you can also follow my Instagram for my business, and that is at Molina's Trade Shop. That is on Instagram. Okay. Let's see what else. YouTube, go to youtube.com. If you're watching this, you're already there. Please hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you get all the notifications for every piece of content that I put up on here. All right, the youtube.com. The website is youtube.com/ at the Perfect Mess Pod. And like I say, I put up shorts, I put up full episodes like this one here. I put up excerpts from all kinds of different things, even workouts that I do with myself and my children, to kind of inspire you guys to not only get your health in order, but also to help you get your children's health in order and to help you raise young, strong adults. All right. Whether it be daughters, sons, I always talk about my sons because that's what I have. But for any of you guys out there that have daughters, you can get them in the gym too and get them out there, working and get them strong. Right. So I do a lot of that stuff on YouTube again. So please, if you are on YouTube or if you are about to get on YouTube and watch this, please subscribe and hit that notification bell in the corner so you can get all those updates. If you are on Spotify, Apple, Google, all the other podcast applications, please hit follow, subscribe, leave a review, leave a comment. And rate the show, please. It definitely helps this thing grow, and we have been growing. I always say we. I don't know why I always do that. I have been growing this podcast. We, as in all of you, have been helping me grow this podcast. That's why I say we. So I appreciate all of you guys who continue to listen. I appreciate you guys spreading the word. I'm getting a lot of new listeners from places I've never even been. And I've been a lot of places. So thank you guys all. I appreciate you guys. So, real quick, it's not my birthday, but my birthday is tomorrow. So, yeah, your boy's turning 49 tomorrow, which is kind of wild. I'm very happy to say that I have made it this far. I didn't think I was going to see it past 21. So, thank God for that, right? There's just been a lot going on recently in my life, a lot of positive things, everything positive. And I just got to thank God for it, man. I always tell everybody that talks to me and that asks me how I'm doing or how I stay positive when so many people are negative these days. And I always say I give it to God. I always say it's God because I would definitely not be able to push through the stuff that I deal with, being a single father, living in probably the most expensive place in the United States in the Bay Area, and just keeping my head above water out here. So I give everything to God. Everything's been going great. I've been staying busy, and hopefully you guys are as well. So, I'm gonna jump right into this. You guys heard the intro, right? Well, let's talk about it. So that definition of a lobbyist obviously is for politics. And that's not what this is about. But it is a very similar thing. And this is why I say your friend, the lobbyist. Now, we all have these friends, and I don't care who you are, because I have a lot of them. And I know all of you have at least one. We all do. We all have these friends, or these people that we call friends, or these people that we hold dear to us, that um always want to do stuff and help out, even when you don't ask. Sometimes they just want to help you, and maybe these friendships last for a long time, a few years, even longer, and you feel like, wow, this is someone that I got a great relationship with, and I do for them, they do for me. It's a kind of a give and take relationship, and that's what we do. And you think, yo, this is great. This is what a friendship is supposed to be, right? But then you come to realize that not everybody does things for or out of the kindness of their heart. In fact, it's kind of a buildup for them. All right. And what I mean by that is, every time they do something, whether you ask for help or whether they just offer and step up and say, oh, I wanted to bless you with this, or I wanted to help you with this. Let me help you with this. Whatever it is, it's it's something that they take and they throw it in the bag. Let's just say you got a bag and it has your name on it. And that person takes whatever they do for you, and they take that memory and they write it on a piece of paper and they throw it in the bag. And so after some time of you being friends with this person, you realize, through the tribulations that a friendship goes through, you realize, wait a minute, this person has been documenting everything that they've ever done for me, for this particular moment right now. Now, follow me. I have talked on my podcast about this so many times, about me ending relationships with people in my life who we are just not going in the same direction. That we were once like this, very close. And if you're watching on YouTube, I'm holding my fist together because it's a symbol of how close and how tight you can be with somebody. I referenced relationships, without dropping names, of just numerous people that I would have bet the house on that I was going to have in my life forever. But as time will have it, things change. You go through stuff, you grow, you start to mature, your kids start to get older. You start to realize that things that you liked 10 years ago, you don't like anymore. The things that you will tolerate, you don't tolerate anymore. The people you want to be around aren't the same people that you want to be around now. And the stuff that you used to find funny ain't too funny anymore. So you start to distance yourself. Or while you're making all these changes and you're starting to grow into who you are currently, these people that you held dear to you do something that is so out of pocket that you, as a good friend, call them on it, and they get upset at you for it because you hold them to the fire for whatever they did. And you say, you know what? I can't rock with you on this, man. What you're doing is wrong. And maybe me 10, 15 years ago, I would have been like, whatever, laughed it out and been like, fuck it, that's life. But I can't do that no more. I got to call it what it is. And that's the breaking point. That's where you go from this, fist together, and all of a sudden, it's like an earthquake. The plates start to shift and you feel it. That's the breaking point. Because you're not willing to turn the other cheek for something that 10, 15 years ago, you'd have been like, whatever, man, shit, life moves on. Now you've grown. Now you realize I can't be around that stuff no more. I can't tolerate stuff like that no more. Because if I do, it says something about my character. It says something about who I am right now. And I'm not that person no more. So I have to speak up about this. I have to tell my friend, yo, you're wrong in this. And I know this is probably going to mess things up, but we're already going in a bad direction. But this, you're wrong on this. And when you do that, the separation gets worse and worse and worse because now this person says, oh, I can't, all these years we've been cool. All these years we've been this, we've been that. And now you're trying to tell me and call me out on my stuff. I thought we was boys. I thought you had my back like I had your back. That's high school shit. I grew up feeling like that with a lot of people. I always tell you guys, I'm very honest that I was always the little guy in my crew of friends. They called me Ray Ray. Anytime your nickname is Ray Ray, you're usually small. And I was always the little guy, right? And I remember in high school always feeling like, even when there was a situation I could handle, one of my older friends or one of my bigger friends would always try to step in and handle it, even when I could have handled it myself. They just did it. Or when other situations would go on. And over the years, all these things built up, you know. And as I got older, I realized I had a circle of a few people that even when I didn't ask them to do certain things, they did it. And don't get me wrong, I appreciated that. I did. But as I got older, I realized that doesn't come without something. It doesn't. Because when you finally grow up and you finally find out who you are and you start to stray and you start to go the other way, and this person still continues to go down that path, or these people start still continue to go down that path, you realize some of these people are now telling people, how dare this person not be there for me now? How dare this person call me out and not have my back? Who gives a fuck if I was wrong? They should have my back. What you don't know is I did this for this person. I did that for that person. I paid for this for that person. I did that. I did this. I did. They start running down the list. What they did was they grabbed that bag, they untied it, and poured out everything that they were remembering and saving and jotting down over the years that they did for you. They pour it out and they start going through it. And anybody who will listen, because you guys are not as close as you used to anymore, because you finally grew up and said, I can't do this anymore. It's not that I'm not thankful for the friendships and the things that we did for each other, not just you for me, but for each other. But I can't. I have to draw the line somewhere. I have to move on. I have to say, this is who I am now, regardless of what you're going to tell people. But yet, anytime they get the opportunity for someone to listen to their side, they grab that bag and they open it up and say, look at all these things that I did for him. And he abandoned me. No. What you should be saying is, we're now pushing 50. Some of us are over 50. And my friend, who is my dog, who is someone who's always been in my corner, called me on my shit. And you know what? He's right. And I need friends like that in my corner. I need friends in my corner that are going to call me on my shit, that are going to tell me when I'm fucking up, that are going to tell me, you know what, man? I love you, bro. And that was cool when we were younger, but that shit ain't cool no more. It's not. And when they don't want to see it your way, they just back away. That's it. And when you continue to say the things to kind of help this person and they don't want to hear it, you just back away. I've done that in a lot of relationships over the last few years in my life. And I don't apologize for none of it. See, what you need to understand is this. Those types of people, make no mistakes. The ones that are sharing these things that they've done for you to tell people, how could this person not have my side? How could this person not stand by my side after everything I've done for them? By the way, here's everything I've done for them. Look. What they fail to realize is they also have a line of people that can do the same to them. 10 times out of 10, those people have a line of people who can say the same thing about them. Who could say, everything that I did for this person, you think that they would take my word because we've built trust over the years. And when I was telling them that they're fucking up, that they would say, you know what? Even if they're mad, leave for a few days, call me back and say, you're right. I didn't want to hear it, but you're right. Instead, you know what those people do? They shun those people. They shun the person that is supposed to be their good friend, their right-hand man, the person that's always going to tell them what they need to hear when they need to hear it, even when they don't want to hear it. They shun them. They push them away. Why? Because you don't feel warm and fuzzy about what the fuck they're telling you anymore. I reference lobbyists because this is exactly what they do. This is your friend. But when these tough situations arise, they become a lobbyist. Why? Because they got all these things. Hey, I know I fucked up, but look at remember all this stuff I did for you? You got to stand with me on this, even if I'm wrong. You got to stand with me on this. Remember? Come on, let me crack this bag open real quick. Let me show you. Remember that time? Remember when you needed that money? I gave it to you. And when you went to pay me back, I told you, nah, go ahead and keep it. That's on me. Or how about when you needed that ride? Remember when you needed that ride and you couldn't get a ride? And you said, no, don't worry about it. I'm going to catch an Uber. But I said, no, don't get an Uber. I'll come pick you up. Remember that? That was me. I did that for you. Remember that? Remember when you needed to have coffee and wanted to talk because you were down and out? I was one of the only ones there, remember? I would sit there and I would talk to you. I'd even pray for you. Remember that one time in high school when that one big guy wanted to fight you and I went to bat for you? Even though I knew you had it handled, you were my boy. I just I wanted to let you know that I got you. Remember that? So they go through all these things like a lobbyist because they want to sway you to remain on their side, to overlook what they're doing that is wrong. Hey, I know the things that I'm doing right now are not in the best interest, are not in a good light with a lot of people. But dog, look at everything I did for you. Remember? Just stand with me on this one. You know what I say? Fuck you. I'm done apologizing for the language. Fuck you for disrespecting our friendship. Fuck you for expecting me to drop my values to stand with you on some bullshit. I don't care who you are. You don't respect our friendship if you expect me to drop my standards, to change my character just to stand with you when you fuck up. That's some weak ass shit. Instead, what you should be doing is thanking people like myself and other people who have stood for you and by you and had the balls to tell you when you were fucking up. You see, we all have these friends. We have these people in our lives who hold these things over our heads. In a sense, lobbying us, using these things to lobby us to stay in good graces with them, whether they fuck up or not. See, that's what lobbyists do with politicians. That's why politics is so fucked up. Because a lobbyist will throw money at a politician, and a politician will do whatever that person throws money at, whatever that person who's throwing money at asks them to do. Why? Because now they owe them. You gave me money when I needed it. So what do I got to do? I got to say I'm for this, even though they know they're not for it. Okay. So I go and do this press conference and I'm now for this. And you wonder, you're like, wait a minute. I remember 4 years ago, this guy wasn't for this stuff. But what you're failing to realize is he now has a lobbyist in his back pocket who greased his hands. And now he owes that person because they did him a favor. We have friends like this. We have people that we love, that we care about, that do this. And you don't find out that they are like that until things fall apart, until they fuck up, until people call them on their shit. And then when they're wondering why people are no longer around them, they start reaching out to people here and there just to hang out. And then when they get that opportunity to hang out, they say, man, yeah, I haven't seen him in a minute, man. It's crazy because we don't hang no more. And dude, all the stuff I did for him, like he just like canceled our friendship. I should have never did all that stuff for him because look how he's treated me. Just abandoned our friendship. Nah, nobody abandoned your friendship. They told you some fucking hard, cold truth, and you fucking couldn't handle it. That's the truth. They were in your fucking corner telling you you were fucking up, and you couldn't handle it. So, what you should be saying to somebody, and if you guys have friends that are doing this to you, what they should be saying is, my fucking friend, my good friend for years, my good friend who I held dearly, who I spent some very, very precious quality time with, called me on my shit, and I love him or her for that because I needed to hear that. Now, what I need to do is go make this right. And what I need to do is quit playing the fucking victim. And I need to say, you know what? I got to own this shit. And I got to find a way to make this right. That's what you need to do. That's what they need to do. The problem is they won't. They won't. because they don't know how. Because if they do that, then they're admitting that they did something wrong. And someone who has that much pride won't do it when they should. Instead, they're sitting there with relationship after relationship after relationship falling apart. And then they realize, I have lost my entire circle. Or if they haven't lost their entire circle, they lost key components to their circle that helped keep them on the right path because of their own fucking ignorance, because of their own fucking pride. See, I'm done with people like that. I am. I don't have time for it. That is a reason why I stick to myself. That is the reason why it's really just me and my kids. That is the reason why I don't do a lot of stuff with almost anybody. There's a few people listening right now that are my close and dear friends, and they know that because I tell them. I will message them randomly, tell them I love them, check in on them, check on their family. And I'll tell you what, any one of those people who calls me on my shit, tells me where I'm fucking up or whatever, I listen. You know why? Because we've built that type of relationship. Even if I'm mad, even if I maybe don't agree in the heat of the moment, I take a day or two, or however many days I need, and I think about it. And then I'll get back on the phone, or I'll go meet with them and say, I didn't see it when you told me, but you're right. You know why? Because that is a true friendship. That is the type of relationship you should be trying to nourish, nurture, and grow in your life. Not somebody who's going to be a fucking yes man every time you fuck up. See, people like this surround themselves with yes men, people that are just going to go along with whatever they're doing. Why? I don't know. Maybe they have money. Maybe they have a nice car and nice house. Maybe they hang out with the finest women. Maybe they are followers in life, period. Maybe they've never been a leader. Maybe they've always, whether they've been in sports or in school or whatever it is, they've always been a leader. So if anybody shows any hint of being some type of leader, they just say, fuck it and follow them. But those are the type of people that stay around your friend, the lobbyist. Why? Because they don't know any better. And they don't have the balls or the guts to question anybody or call anybody on their shit. They're comfortable. Like some fucking house shoes. I've said this before on my podcast. Comfort is going to fucking kill you. Comfort will kill you in all aspects of your life. Comfort will kill you. You get comfortable in your relationship, you watch it deteriorate. You get comfortable in your health, watch your body deteriorate. Get comfortable in your brain, in your mental, and stop reading, stop trying to learn. Watch that shit deteriorate. Comfort will kill you. And people get comfortable just being in friendships with people like that. I know he's wrong, but that's just who he is. He's still my boy. Nah, not for me, man. And I told you, maybe me years ago. In fact, it was me years ago. I've said that plenty of times, but it's not me now. And I always tell people, if you knew me 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, you don't know me anymore. Yeah, you know Ray Molina. You know who I am. But you don't know me because I'm no longer that person. I grew up. I grew out of those things. I no longer accept certain things around me. I don't accept certain people around me. I don't accept certain circles. I don't accept anything that I don't feel is going to help me continue to move forward, be a better man, to be a better father, be a better man of Christ. I don't. And if you're someone who's doing that shit to somebody, I know you're listening. You better check yourself, because at some point you're going to realize that you lost somebody or multiple people who would have flipped the earth on its axis, flipped the earth on its axis for you because they loved you that much. And it's a coincidence that not just a few people left, but a lot more than you had anticipated. You should really ask yourself why, and quit lobbying to get people in your corner by bringing up shit you did for them. Because I know I've done a lot of shit for a lot of people, and I don't bring it up to nobody. I know a lot of people that are not friends with a lot of people right now who did a lot of stuff out of the kindness of their heart and don't bring it up to nobody. But those people, the other people, any chance they get, they bring up what they did for those people. And that's some coward ass bullshit. So if you have someone like that in your life right now, I can tell you this: it's going to end the wrong way. It's going to end with things being thrown in your face. And if they're not being thrown directly in your face, they're going to be thrown in someone else's face as a reference as to why you should still be their friend, and why you should never have called them on their shit, and why you should have stood with them even when they were wrong. It's going to happen. And if you see it and you know that, you need to do the smart thing and call these people on their shit. And if they can't rock with it, you got to walk. Because at the end of the day, you should have relationships in your life that are going to grow you, that are going to help you continue to move forward, that are going to nourish your soul, that are going to be good for your kids, that are going to be good for your family, your wife, your kids, whatever it is. And if it's something that's always a problem, or if it's someone who's not going to take ownership for when they fuck up, or they don't value you when you call them on it, when you say, hey, I love you, man, but that thing that just happened, you're wrong. Now I know you're going to be upset at me, but you're wrong. If they don't value you calling them on that shit, you got to walk, man, because that says everything that you need to know. They just want you to fall in line, and they want you to remember everything that they did for you. So no matter what they did that was wrong, you're expected to stand by them. I'll say it again. Fuck you. If you're that type of friend with me, I would never. See, I'm going to be the friend now that will tell you when you're fucking up. And if you don't want to hear it, or if you want to act like you're not fucking up, I'll walk. That's it. I don't make no fucking apologies about it. That's just the type of person I am now. But the flip side, don't be no fucking coward walking around telling people shit that you did for somebody when you know that same person could flip it on you just like that. And when 5, 10, 15 other families could do the same thing to you, you should be very careful on telling people what you did for them. Because I would bet the house that a line of people could say the same thing about you. Your friend, the lobbyist. Does it all make sense now? I hope it makes sense. I hope this message hits home for you because I mean it in all sincerity. I mean it because I've dealt with it myself. And apparently, I'm dealing with it now. Yeah, I know. I know that strikes a nerve. It's meant to strike a nerve. I never forget what people do for me. In fact, I've always told anybody who's done something for me how much I appreciate them, even when I've tried to pay them back and return the favor, and they say no. I always make sure that they know how appreciative I am for them. The problem is that isn't good enough for them. For the lobbyist, no, what's good enough is I need you to stand with me even when I fuck up and go to bat for me. Not doing it. Not doing it. I'll do you one better. I'll call you on your shit, tell you when you're fucking up. And then you can do me one better. Say, you know what, bro? You're right. Thank you. Thank you for being a true friend. I love you for that. You're right. If that's too much to ask, get to stepping. That's all I got, y'all. Please check out the website, raymolina.com. My Instagram, TikTok is at itsraymolina. The podcast is at the Perfect Mess Pod. The brand is at It's Beast or Famine. And my business is at Molina's Trade Shop. The YouTube is youtube.com/ at the Perfect Mess Pod. Please subscribe, hit the notification bell. And that's all I got, guys. Like I always say, my life isn't perfect. Oftentimes it is a mess, but for me, it is the perfect mess. Peace.